Let's be honest, scuba diving can feel overwhelming at first. Maybe your heart is racing, your mask is starting to fog up, and you're wondering what you're actually doing 10 meters under the ocean, and you can't just talk it out with the person next to you. You may have only just met them an hour ago as well. So if you've ever felt nervous or panicked underwater, you're not alone. And in this video, I'm sharing the mental tricks that help me out and many other divers stay calm and confident in the water. Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine channel, your favorite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Today's video is proudly sponsored by Scuba Pro, one of, if not the best dive gear manufacturers around the world, who have been designing and producing a full range of dive gear since 1963. I'll pop a link up here to their website because they have a special offer on their regulators right now. Which is just great if you're in the market for a new set of regulators. You can get a free octo or a free roller bag. But for now, let's think about how to stay calm in the water. And yes, the most important one is like mixed in towards the end, so you do need to stick around for the whole video. Your breathing rhythm can make a huge difference to your mindset in the water, and you do have control over it. Hyperventilating can be a vicious cycle because you're not purging the carbon dioxide in your system, and it's the carbon dioxide, not the oxygen, that tells your brain that you need to breathe more. It's basically as the carbon dioxide in your bloodstream increases, your brain thinks, I need to get rid of that, so it starts to hyperventilate. But actually what you need is big lungfuls of gas. Big, long, deep breaths. Clean the gas in your lungs, and if you can get your head into a nice rhythm of breathing, then you can help keep a clear head. I was taught to breathe in for 3 seconds and then breathe out for 3 seconds and just get into that kind of a rhythm. A handy way to do this is that you can hum a little tune in your head. Whenever you hum, that helps draw that breath out as opposed to just when you hum, it takes a long time to get rid of one lungful of gas. You'll be surprised at just how long you can exhale when you're humming a tune. It's one of the reasons we teach you to hum during your 𝐸𝐵𝐺𝐴, the controlled emergency swimming ascent, so that you can exhale all the way up and you don't run out of gas before you reach the surface. Before the dive, have a good breathe to kind of just prepare yourself for the dive, get into that mindset, and when you get into the water, try and take plenty of deep breaths to just clean the gases in your lungs and help keep it fresh. You have lots of gas in your tank, use it. It is there for a reason, so if you're ever starting to feel a little bit jittery, nice calming breathes and or breaths, and yeah, try and get into a kind of a good rhythm where you're breathing in nice and slowly and breathing out nice and slowly. Dive gear is incredibly reliable today, especially if you look after it, and especially if you go through your pre-dive safety checks. The buddy checks that you were taught in your foundational course have been thought through thoroughly, and they eliminate many gear-related issues by simply checking them with your buddy right before you jump in. Simple things like checking that your straps aren't twisted or a hose isn't trapped underneath one of the straps can eliminate problems in the water. If your octo is trapped underneath the strap, then it's just adding something else. Whereas when you're going through your pre-dive safety check, you can go, oh, actually that's tangled, let me just free that. There you go. And that's going to eliminate that issue. The most important one is simply to check that your cylinder valve is open properly. So remember to look at that pressure gauge, and even though it says that you have however much gas in your cylinder, if you breathe from it and that needle twitches, it means that your valve isn't fully open. So make sure it's all the way open. Simple things like that can really eliminate a lot of issues in the water. And treat your gear with respect. Pack it away properly, get it serviced at regular intervals, check it for wear and tear as often as you can, and if there's ever any question in your mind, then just ask. It could be nothing, but if something looks a little bit weird or doesn't feel right, then just ask another diver or a crew member. They can take a look at it and either, yes, I'll fix that problem, or I'll show you how to fix that problem, or they'll put your mind at ease that, no, actually that's fine, it's supposed to do this kind of thing. But dive gear today is very reliable. It's designed that way, and the manufacturers wouldn't still be in business if there were so many issues. We've seen product recalls at the slightest hint of an issue. So it's another good reason to register your equipment with the manufacturer so they can contact you if there is a recall. But yeah, trust your dive gear, but also look after your dive gear and do your pre-dive safety checks. Before the dive, try to visualize the dive site with like the map in front of you. I find it helps me like visualize where I am in the water, kind of in my mind, even in like the worst visibility. If I know roughly where I am when I enter the water, I can kind of work out which direction landmarks are going to be from me when I'm in this position. I visualize each part of the dive, like from the beginning to the end, and I picture kind of where things are going to be roughly in relation to me. So I'll enter the water here, and then I'm going to want to head in that direction. I'll adjust my buoyancy, I'll check my gauges, I equalize. You don't have to go through all of the motions and everything, but just kind of think about, okay, yeah, where's everything going to be? If you just go straight into the dive, then everything that you come across is going to be a discovery and new. And I'll explain why that's a bad thing in the next section. But when you like visualize the dive and run through it in your mind beforehand, it doesn't need to be in real time or anything, as I say, or perfect accuracy. But when you like visualize where you're going to go, what you're going to do, what tools you're going to be using and where they are in your pockets or something, then everything is just going to play out according to the plan, and it's much more relaxing when you know what's coming up. Communication is key. I've already spoken about mentioning any questions you may have about the dive or your dive gear, and by buffering your confidence with communicating underwater with your hands, the more comfortable you'll be underwater. As soon as you put your head under the water, you can't speak, you can't listen to one another neither, so you kind of have to use your hands. When you dive with the same person frequently, you'll get to know their mannerisms and you'll be able to understand and predict what they mean without using perfect hand signals. But even if you don't know your dive buddy, even at a glance counts as communicating. Just to check that they're okay, keep an eye on one another, check that they're okay from time to time. You just want to like communicate things, because especially with buddy separations, it's so easy to happen, especially with cameras as well nowadays. Just kind of let them know and communicate, hey, I'm going to go do such and such, so they know, and then they'll hopefully do the same so that you know roughly where they're going to be, how much gas they got left in the cylinder. When you communicate things, again, less surprises in the water. By far the most important thing in my mind to keep cool underwater is to reduce task loading to a minimum. Task loading is the term that we use in the industry for the mental and physical burdens placed on a diver by the combination of like tasks and equipment that they're attempting to perform at any one time. So if you use new dive gear that you've never used before in waters with strong currents, from a rib, you've never been diving from ribs before, you've never been in strong currents before, with a new dive buddy as well, then each of those things are all going to add stress, and too many new things can lead to problems. Keep new things to a minimum when you're diving. If you've got some new dive gear or something, then dive it in familiar, easy waters first, so you can better focus on what's new. If there's a new dive site, then try to use familiar dive gear and familiar dive buddies so that you can focus on that current or the rib entry and exit. If you're dealing with just everything new all at once, it can just be too much and it can lead to stress because, yeah, oh, I can't do my whatever it is, and we've got the current as well that I'm dealing with, and my new buddy doesn't understand what's going on, and it all kind of gets a bit too much. But if it's only one thing, it's a new dive buddy, you know how your BCD works and all that kind of stuff, you're used to current, you've got a new dive buddy, okay, that's fine. I'm using my BCD, I've used 100 times, I've used a current, so I don't worry about that. I'll just have a quick glance to see where I'm heading, and then I can check up on my buddy. So do your best to keep things simple and reduce the number of tasks that you need to deal with at any one time. Skills are like muscles. If you use them frequently, they become strong. So try to get some diving in as frequently as you can. It's like learning to drive a car. At first, it's hard because you've never done it before. But if you drive every day, it just becomes second nature and you don't even think about it. But if you don't drive for like a year or two, you can still do it, but you might be a little bit rusty. The same goes for specific skills. If you don't practice individual skills that sure you could do on your foundational course, could you still do it now? I know it isn't the most fun thing to do, but try to remove and replace your mask from time to time on a dive. If you remove your mask like once a trip or something, it doesn't have to be every single dive or something, but once a trip, then it's less of a shock if it suddenly happens out of the blue because someone's kicked you in the face. Deploying DSMBs, disconnect and reconnect your inflator. Whatever the skill, just plan a good time to do it, usually towards the end of the dive, at the end of your safety stop, so that should something happen, you're relatively close to the surface and you can just head straight up. But just plan to practice some skills to train. Obviously tell your buddy that you're going to do it, so they, again, don't just swim away or wondering what on earth Steve's doing. But yeah, just plan to like go and do some foundational skills just to keep brushed up. Ultimately, the best thing that you can communicate with your buddy to prevent panicking underwater is no. If you're not in the right mindset, or you don't feel physically fit for the dive, or you're worried about any particular part of the dive, then don't just go along with the dive plan, just expecting everything to be okay. If you don't want to go on the dive, then don't. I've skipped dives before where I've hurt my shoulder, old existing injury, and sure, it probably would have been an uneventful dive, but if something did happen and I was unable to help another diver because my shoulder was knackered, well, now there's two victims in the water that need help. Whilst it can be good to like face your fears and do all that kind of stuff, in some circumstances it can be good to trust your gut. So even if it is just, I'm not sure about this particular part of the dive, and just vocalizing it, talking it through with your dive buddy, they can say, oh, okay, well, we can do this instead. Then you'll feel much more confident and you'll go on the dive, but you just will skip over that part. But if there is something that in your mind just says, I don't really like that, just say something, and ultimately it's up to you if you even get in the water. So you can just say, you know what, sorry, I don't want to go on this dive. Sometimes things just go wrong. I've been on dives where everything seemed normal and for no reason someone has bolted or their regulator has failed. Whilst unlikely, it does happen, and it's important to remember your training. Your first priority is usually to secure an air supply for everybody, but once that's happened, some divers can find it hard to calm themselves down just after an incident. Even though everyone can breathe, everyone can control their buoyancy or whatnot, and you're definitely heading up to the surface, it's still kind of in their mind. The best thing to do if you feel like you're going to panic in the water is to orient yourself with something solid so that you don't get like turned around or flipped upside down. Try to look for like a rock, a definitive rock, or a coral formation, even your dive buddy, but ideally something that's not going to move, and you can use that as a visual reference and you can study it. By focusing your mind on something in particular, that can help stop your mind from racing away and thinking about all sorts of different things. You can just focus on that one particular thing. So if you do feel your mind starting to get away from you, your eyes are starting to widen, then put them to use by studying something in particular to help calm yourself down. Even if it's like a fish or your buddy's BCD, just kind of look at their BCD, count the number of pinch clips on their BCD. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes you to like control your mind and just kind of go, oh, actually no, let's just focus on this one particular thing. Everything else is fine. Now let's head up to the surface, just to slow everything down and really just kind of put those blinkers on a little. If you have any handy tips on how to calm yourself down, then by all means pop them down in the comment section. And if you want a new regulator that you can rely on, remember to head over to Scuba Pro's website, because they have a special offer on their range where you can get a free octo or a roller bag, which is pretty generous. Links are going to be up in the corner here, and I'll pop one down in the comment section also. Like, share and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube if you're new here. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.